gosh, we are filming. Did I start it? I did. Excellent.
Perfection.
What's going on, guys? I'm here with Shelby Blondell, the incredible and one and only. She's from Baltimore, right?
Baltimore? Yeah, he's Linthicum. Everyone thinks that's a battery, so we go Palmer.
Like lithium?
Liddy?
That's great. I've never thought about that before, but that
Baltimore. So yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. As you guys know, I went to school in Baltimore, so that's how I'm making the connection here. But I grew up in Laurel, only 30 minutes south. So yeah, we've been wanting to do a collab for a while. We actually tried doing a collab like 6 or 7 years ago.
Right before COVID.
Right before COVID, and I mean, there were so many reasons why it didn't end up, coming through and everything. But we were like, we always wanted to do one and get it done, so we finally got back together, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out.
I'm really excited for this one. I think it's different yet the same for us, and it's nice to finally collaborate with someone on this.
Yeah, totally. And I think we have styles that blend well together and a lot of like overlapping interests. And so I think part of, at least for me, and I'm curious as to for you if this is part of it, but last time I felt like the song that we picked wasn't the right mix for us. And so like where we did this time was like the right mix of like our styles and everything.
For
that
sure.
really worked well.
No, I think so. I think last time it was like picking the songs that we think other people want to hear. And
Well, that's definitely part of it, yeah.
And this time, yes, people I think are going to be really excited about this one. But I think there's a lot of feels that I know I felt while we were recording it and doing the video and all of that.
Yeah.
That didn't quite come across in that way with the other collabs.
Yeah.
Some of the other songs are.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because we were looking at a number of different songs. We like started on one, but this one I feel way more connection to personally, because, and I actually did not make the connection of exactly what the song was about until maybe like halfway through, and I was actually talking with Vanessa about it, and she's like, "Oh, like, what do you think the song is about?" And I was like, "You know what? It's actually it was the line that's like, we're not angry at your love. We ain't angry at your love." It's like, what does that mean? At first, I thought like, we're not angry at you, love, isn't like we're not angry at love.
Yeah.
But then I realized, no, it's like a parent talking to a child. And then when I filtered all the other lyrics through that, I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. And then I started to get emotional about like imagining that in the future with like seeing my future kids. It's the whole thing, you know.
It's a connection that you only understand when you have it. And you can feel that there's a connection there too with friendships, with siblings, with all of that.
Yeah.
And I think when you listen to the lyrics of the song, I think it'll hit everyone maybe in different points of their lives and let you see the future a little bit, and see the love in it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really cool song to have out there in a lot of ways. It's also a very simple song, and sometimes those are my favorite. The ones that don't have all the complex instrumentation. Just beautiful acoustic guitar played by Shelby.
And amazing other instrumentation.
Thank you. A little bit of like atmospheric guitar and then bass, which is fairly characteristic of this cover series that I've been doing. And then a lot of vocal harmonies, which is my other favorite.
The vocal harmony.
Vocal.
I think that was the most fun part about this was figuring out, this song. We did a lot of things differently in this song than how it's kind of portrayed, and who's singing male parts, who's singing female parts, in the actual song. We had a lot of fun with that, and we added a lot of us's.
Yep.
There's a lot of Shelbys on this. There's a lot of Books on this.
Totally.
And they become kind of this orchestral instrument, I think, within the song. The voices.
It's so interesting because whenever you start a project, it always feels so much smaller than how it ends up feeling at the end. Like we're playing just acoustic, we're just singing, it's our naked voices in the room. It's like I'm hearing her sing without any reverb. She's hearing me sing without any reverb. Like I have all my imposter syndrome around that, and it's like I'm feeling weird and self-conscious. And then we start layering all the pieces in, and then it really starts coming together. And so I found that it helps me a lot when I'm feeling weird at the beginning to be like, just continue going because it's going to come together in this great way. It always does. And that blend of things at the end. It's kind of like you have to have faith the whole time that like it's going to work out, which is kind of perfect for this song.
Yeah.
Bring it full circle.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
No, it's doing music, you do have to give up a lot of yourself and let your emotions really be seen. And that's always a weird thing, especially when you're doing a collab with someone and making sure those vulnerabilities are able to be expressed. And like everyone has them, right? And I think that comes through and helps the art be so much more and what it should be and could be. know, let them kind of shine through and just go for it.
Yeah, and I found it's challenging, or for me it's been challenging, to get more in touch with those feelings and to feel safe and comfortable expressing them around other people. Because it was just harder for me to do that growing up. So I've done a lot of like therapy and stuff over the last, 6 years to try to reconnect with that. And it's led to a lot of a much fuller life, honestly, in like every way, which has been really great. I feel more connected with my friends. I feel like the collaborations end up being, a lot better. But I also feel like I can properly experience the full emotion of their human spectrum of like what we're supposed to experience, and not just kind of, squash those difficult emotions deep down inside. So it's great. And it also comes out in the music. I think it feels better. The connection is more authentic when we're doing a collaboration.
And it's nice too when you have a long, almost decade of friendship with someone, because I think you see a lot of different phases of people's lives, and you see the growth in each other's lives, and allow something like this to really come through and be really great.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's cool to do a Noah Kahan and Brandi Carlile song. I've only done one other Noah Kahan song before.
So good.
He's great, and I don't really follow him enough, so I should watch more, but I've not really listened to as much Brandi Carlile. I'm sure I know more songs.
You'll know more songs.
But it just didn't really, I wasn't like, oh, this is a song by her.
Yes, she's not necessarily a household name, but people know her music when they hear it, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that was her, but she's an incredible vocalist, incredible writer, performer, activist. And so when her and Noah did this together, it was cool hearing their voices and, watching that kind of come to life.
Yeah.
And I was excited to watch our voices come to life.
Same. It was cool with some of the instrumentation too, because it is very different. This is all like scaled back, which is kind of like the structure I'm trying to stay within for the cover series. Generally, there is a song coming with a full drum set. It doesn't need
different.
It needed the drum set, but with this one, as with most of the other ones, it's very like scaled back, so less high energy parts, but there still is a nice journey in the song, and there were a couple of chords that we kind of changed up because we were like, this.
We got to add a spin on it. I think. As artists ourselves, I think we both do that, especially when doing a cover. You have to put your own little spin on it too. Change it up a little bit. You still want people to know what it is, but change it up.
And that makes it fresh. It makes it more our own, which I think is fun. And it brings in our taste. Like I wouldn't use those chords that they used in the song. Like obviously they work great, for them, but I would make different choices. So it's cool to like do that together.
Yeah, and be able to do it, and it sounds great.
Yeah, and also to drink lots of coffee together. That's also been great.
Yeah, that's I think too. When you have people you've known forever as a friendship, that's great. But then when there's a lot of similar interests, like the one thing I noticed, Luke, we're pretty addicted to caffeine, coffee. I could eat espresso beans all day long, but the kind of entrepreneurial journey as well. And the musician journey, multi-instrumentalists, creators, composers, and I think that actually speaks to like the business side of creating entrepreneurship as well. So it's cool to have all those things connect and have a different, deeper level of understanding, especially through the creative process. Knowing that creating a song is a process. It's a lot of steps, a lot of time, and just putting the work in.
Yeah, and creating with each artist is a little bit different, right? Because at this point in the cover series, I've been able to work with a lot of awesome people, but everybody's different. And so there's like figuring out how to work with each person, and you have different amounts like in common with different people. Sometimes you don't expect, what the person is going to be like, and so you're like adapting. There's lots of things I learned about myself through that process, which has been cool. And one of the things I really appreciate about working with you is how much we have in common across all of our interests in life. And so like the entrepreneurship is a big thing because that's huge for me with building my video production company and the music stuff and trying to make all that stuff work. And she's got her thing called the sheller, which is like if you take the mallet and the knife, all the things you need to like shell a crab, it's just made into one utensil. And it's called the sheller, which is perfect because it's shelling crabs, but it's also Shelby. It's like
some kind of intuition at birth.
I don't know how
Financial unit had, I don't know.
It's so big. So anyway, this is all over the place, and you should totally go check it out. If you want to get one for Christmas gifts, definitely do that. There's still time.
And get some videos done with your bands.
Oh, thank you. If you're in the DM,
you do?
Hit me up for video. That'd be great. Thank you guys for watching the video. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you got a little bit of insight into some of the background for what the process was like for us going through and making this song, and hopefully we'll do some more in the future.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Luke, for letting me be a part of it, and thank you all for listening.
Yep.
Tuning in.
Thank you for being part of it, Shelby. We'll see you guys soon. Enjoy the video.